Menopause changes the rules of the game. Your metabolism, sleep, and hormones shift, and old habits stop working. That's why diets and big gym plans fizzle out. They don't fit the new reality or your busy life. Today, first, I'll show tiny, science-friendly habits you can start in 2026 that actually stick. 2-minute moves, swap and save food swaps, stress hacks that lower evening cravings. All designed for women 40+. These aren't drastic plans. They're simple actions you can do between coffee and emails that stack into real change. Imagine swapping one sugary snack for a protein-rich option, doing a 90-second resistance routine during TV Anno Domini breaks, and using a single breathing ritual to calm nighttime hunger. Small, repeatable, and realistic. Real women are doing this. Laura, 52, built 3 tiny habits into her mornings and months later felt stronger, slept better, and finally fit into jeans she'd kept in the back of the closet. First, we'll break down exactly how to pick habits that match your day, how to hook them to things you already do, and how to measure progress without obsessing over the scale. Stay with me. Try the first habit first give you right after this video for 7 days, and leave a quick comment about how it feels. Small changes, steady wins. Let's make them yours. 1. Why traditional diets fail during menopause. As estrogen falls and natural aging progresses, the body's metabolism and fat distribution change in ways traditional diets don't account for. Fat tends to shift toward the midsection, resting metabolic rate slows in part because muscle mass decreases, and sleep disturbances common during menopause alter hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin. Many older women also experience greater insulin resistance, which makes glucose and carbohydrate handling less forgiving than it used to be. These physiological shifts mean the same eat less, move more plan that worked in your 30s often no longer produces the same results. That mismatch is why calorie-focused, highly restrictive diets frequently fail now. They often produce initial weight loss, yes, but much of that loss is muscle rather than fat. When muscle drops, your metabolic needs drop too, and the old calorie targets become unsustainable. Add in increased cravings from disrupted sleep and stress-driven cortisol spikes, and you get a perfect setup for binge, restriction cycles, and regained weight, usually in the belly. Linda, who switched to a very low-calorie program, lost weight quickly but felt exhausted, saw her strength decline, and regained the weight once she relaxed the diet. Sound familiar? It's not about willpower, it's about biology. The smart response is not a harsher diet but targeted, small changes that protect muscle, stabilize blood sugar, and improve sleep and stress resilience. Focus on protein at each meal to support muscle preservation and satiety. Add brief resistance work to maintain or build lean tissue, and prioritize sleep and simple stress habits that reduce cortisol-driven hunger. For example, swapping a bowl of sugary cereal for plain Greek-style yogurt with nuts and berries gives more sustained fullness without drastic calorie cutting. Doing 2 short sets of bodyweight squats or resistance band rows 3 times a week protects muscle and raises resting energy needs. A short evening routine, turning off screens, dimming lights, and practicing a calming breathing exercise can cut nighttime hunger and improve glucose control the next day. Make these changes tiny and consistent so they stick. Anchor a protein habit to something you already do. After you pour your morning coffee, add a handful of nuts and a sliced hard-boiled egg or a scoop of protein-rich yogurt. Turn TV time into movement time by doing calf raises or a wall push-up during commercial breaks. Replace one refined carb snack a day with a balanced combo of protein, fiber, and healthy fat, like hummus with carrot sticks. Keep the resistance work short and progressive. Start with 1 extra set this week and add a second set next week. Track one metric that matters to you: energy levels, how your clothes fit, or the number of strength sessions completed. Small wins pile up. Start with 1 tiny habit today and treat it as an experiment rather than a verdict on your willpower. Pick a single, practical swap. Add a protein to breakfast, take a 10-minute post-meal walk, or do 2 brief resistance sets, and commit to it for a week. Notice how your appetite, sleep, and strength respond. These small, menopause-aware shifts respect the body's changing biology and make sustainable weight management far more likely than repeating old restrictive diets. You can build momentum without deprivation. Take the first tiny step and keep it simple. 2. How small atomic habits create sustainable weight loss. Hormone shifts in midlife often change where the body stores fat, how hunger signals register, and how quickly muscle mass is lost. Sleep disruption and stress can nudge appetite and cravings higher, and a slower metabolic rate makes old habits feel heavier. These are not moral failings. They are biological signals that call for a gentler, smarter approach rather than drastic dieting. Small, atomic habits work because they reduce friction and fit into real days. A 5-minute habit repeated daily is easier to do than a 2-hour gym session you dread. Over time, those tiny actions add up. More movement across the day, slightly higher protein at meals, and a little extra resistance to preserve muscle. They require less willpower and create momentum through consistency, which is exactly what helps during unpredictable menopause symptoms like hot flashes or low energy. Practical examples make this real. Swap a mid-morning pastry for a spoonful of Greek yogurt or a hard-boiled egg kept in the fridge, an easy change that helps steady blood sugar and keeps meals satisfying. Place a resistance band by the TV and do one short band circuit while an episode plays. It's quick, no gym required, and it guards muscle mass. Stand up and march in place during phone calls, or set a timer to stretch for 2 minutes each hour. These tiny boosts increase daily calorie burn without needing long workouts. For stress, take 3 deep breaths before eating or park farther from the store. Small cues like these slow down eating and reduce impulsive choices. Make these habits stick by linking them to things you already do and keeping the goal ridiculously small to start. After brushing your teeth each morning, do that band routine. When you pour your coffee, fill a water bottle to sip instead of reaching for a sugary drink. Use a simple habit tracker on the fridge or an alarm on your phone so wins are visible. If a habit feels hard, shrink it further. Better 1 minute daily than 10 sporadic minutes. Celebrate the repeat, not perfection. Progress is built by the repeat, day after day. Pick one tiny habit now, write it down, and decide when it will happen. Try it for a week. Notice how your energy, hunger, and mood respond, and then add another small habit. These little, consistent changes create a foundation that adapts to menopausal life and becomes the sustainable path to feeling stronger and more like yourself. Keep going, one small habit at a time. 3. Core tiny habits that reset metabolism after 45. Estrogen shifts and a gradual loss of muscle change how your body stores and uses energy after midlife, and that makes weight feel stubborn even when you eat sensibly. Small drops in muscle mass lower resting calorie use, and slower insulin response can make blood sugar swings and cravings more likely. Many women notice the waistband creeping in despite the same routines. This is biology, not failure. Tiny, focused habits can turn that biology back toward balance. Pick 3 simple actions that fit your day and repeat them. Brief strength bursts that protect and rebuild muscle. Protein-first mini-meals that feed that muscle, and short post-meal movement plus hourly standing that smooths blood sugar and raises daily energy burn. Each habit is small enough to do every day, and together they address the main drivers of midlife metabolic change. Start with micro-strength bursts. Do 1 or 2 short sessions of bodyweight resistance spread through your day. Think chair stands, wall push-ups, or band pulls done for 1 to 3 minutes. Example: after you pour your morning coffee, stand up and do 5 slow chair stands, focusing on sitting back to elbow depth and driving through the heels. Later, when you come back from lunch, add a set of 8-10 slow wall push-ups. These tiny sessions add up and help preserve muscle mass without demanding long gym time. Bump intensity gradually. Add another brief set, slow the tempo, or use a resistance band. Real-life wins. A woman first started doing 2 90-second strength bursts daily, and within weeks felt steadier on stairs and needed fewer grocery bag breaks. Make protein the easy first choice at meals and snacks. Rather than overhauling every plate, use a simple rule. Start breakfast and your biggest snack with a palm-sized portion of higher quality protein. Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs, smoked salmon, a handful of nuts paired with cottage cheese, or a small can of tuna. A quick habit is to place the protein on your plate before everything else. The sight cue triggers the choice. For instance, when you heat water for tea, grab an egg or scoop of plain yogurt and eat that first. Spreading protein across the day supports muscle repair and satiety, helping reduce the evening binge cycle that often follows a low-protein day. Add short, gentle movement after meals, and break up long sitting with standing or a short walk. A brief walk after eating, just a few minutes around the block or marching in place, lowers the immediate blood sugar spike and uses energy when your body is most receptive. At work, set a simple alarm to stand and do shoulder rolls or calf raises each hour. These tiny shifts in non-exercise activity accumulate into meaningful differences in daily calorie use and metabolic signaling. A busy friend replaced one long coffee break with 3 2-minute walks and noticed fewer late afternoon energy crashes. Blend these habits into real life by stacking them onto reliable cues. Link a strength burst to toothbrushing. Take your protein-first snack with your mid-morning coffee, and tie the post-meal stroll to clearing the table. Keep a tiny checklist on your fridge or a one-line note in your phone. Strength plus protein plus move. Start with one habit for a week, then add the second, then the third. Track feelings as well as weight. More energy, steadier moods, better sleep are important signs of progress. If mobility or medical issues are a concern, adapt moves to chair-based versions and check with your clinician. Start small today and aim for consistency over perfection. Choose one habit and commit to it for 3 weeks. Notice how your clothes, energy, and confidence shift before scale numbers change. If you want more structure, jot down where each habit will fit in your daily flow and set gentle reminders. Celebrate the tiny wins. They compound into lasting change. 4. Daily microchanges for nutrition and movement. Hormonal shifts in menopause commonly change where and how the body stores fat, and age-related loss of muscle can lower daily energy needs. Many women notice appetite changes, sleep disruption, and more frequent cravings. These biological realities make crash diets and extreme workouts less effective and harder to sustain. The real leverage comes from small, consistent tweaks applied to everyday meals and movement, tiny actions that add up without drama. Start with simple nutrition swaps that fit into your routine. Choose a palm-sized portion of protein at breakfast, Greek yogurt, a couple of eggs, or a tofu scramble, so hunger is steadier through the morning. Add extra vegetables to one meal each day. Toss a handful of raw spinach into a smoothie or pile salad leaves next to your main dish. Replace a sweet drink with sparkling water flavored with citrus or a splash of juice to cut liquid calories without feeling deprived. Keep an easy snack ready. A small portion of nuts, carrot sticks, and hummus, or plain popcorn in a portion container. These are tiny, practical moves that reduce spikes in blood sugar and help manage appetite without overhauling your whole diet. Movement microchanges are just as doable. Break up sitting with brief, intentional activity every time you stand up. Do a few chair squats while you wait for the kettle. March on the spot during TV commercials. Stand on one leg while brushing your teeth to build balance. Keep a resistance band next to the couch and squeeze in 2 or 3 short sets of banded rows or glute bridges while show plays. Shift from long, intimidating workouts to frequent low-effort actions. More non-exercise activity thermogenesis, like gardening, walking with a friend, or taking the stairs, because accumulated movement affects metabolism and mood. These small efforts protect muscle and boost daily calorie burn without needing hours at the gym. Make these microchanges stick by linking them to existing habits and making the cues obvious. After pouring morning coffee, put a glass of water on the counter and drink it before you sit. While you're waiting for the oven, chop an extra vegetable to stash for tomorrow's lunch. Place a pair of walking shoes by the door and cue a short walk after a meal or a phone call. Use visual cues, a sticky note on the fridge, a band around your water bottle, a reminder on your phone, and celebrate tiny wins. If a day gets away from you, reset with one small action rather than abandoning the plan altogether. Progress over perfection keeps momentum. Pick one nutrition microchange and one movement microchange to try tomorrow. Keep them tiny and automatic for a week, then add another. Track how you feel. Less bloating, steadier appetite, better sleep, or more energy are meaningful signs of progress. You'll find that these low-friction habits, practiced consistently, create more sustainable weight and wellness shifts than rigid rules ever could. 5. Tracking and adjustment strategies that work. Hormonal shifts and changes in body composition mean the number on the scale often lies. Tracking multiple signals reveals the real story. Many women in midlife see daily weight swings that are mostly water, salt, or menstrual-related changes, not fat gain. That makes relying on one metric a fast track to frustration. When the scale stalls, most people either double down in a way that's unsustainable or give up entirely. A better route is to use a small set of reliable measures and treat adjustments like short experiments. Weigh yourself under the same conditions once a week, and pair that with at least one non-scale metric. Monthly photos, how your jeans fit, a waist measurement taken at the same spot each time, or a record of strength, for example, number of push-ups or weights lifted. Add context by tracking sleep quality, energy, and stress. These often explain why progress slows even when food and activity seem consistent. Not all tools are equally useful. Home body composition scales can show trends, but they're sensitive to hydration. Treat those numbers as directional, not absolute. Progress photos and clothing fit are low-tech, high-value signals that don't lie. Food tracking can be simple. Photo food logs or short notes on meal composition work better long-term than calorie-obsessive spreadsheets. For physical activity, log sessions, resistance work, walking, high-effort intervals, rather than just steps. Strength gains matter for metabolism and shape even when the scale barely moves. When adjustments are needed, keep changes tiny and specific. Pick one variable to tweak for 2 to 3 weeks. Add one resistance session, swap an evening dessert for a fruit plus protein snack, or commit to a short walk after dinner. Use implementation intentions. After first clear the dishes, first we'll walk for 10 minutes. Stack the habit onto an existing routine. After my morning coffee, first we'll do 2 sets of bodyweight squats. Small is powerful because it's repeatable. Run micro-experiments and document outcomes. Create a simple weekly review. Note weight trend, waist change, workout consistency, sleep hours, and mood. If progress stalls, change only one thing at a time so you know what helped. For instance, a woman who tracked weekly noticed no change despite steady workouts. When she increased her protein at breakfast and added a short post-meal walk, her energy improved and clothing fit shifted over several weeks. That clarity came from isolating variables and trusting the data. Design your environment to support the tiny moves you choose. Place a water bottle by your favorite chair, prep a protein-rich snack the night before, or keep resistance bands near the TV. Visual cues reduce decision fatigue. And don't forget accountability. Share weekly notes with a friend or use a simple habit tracker app that shows streaks. Seeing progress, however small, compounds motivation. Start with one metric and one micro adjustment this week. Track daily notes and do a short review every Sunday evening. Be patient and treat setbacks as information rather than failure. Small, consistent changes paired with clear tracking are the most reliable path to weight and body composition shifts that actually stick. 6. Real success stories and long-term body transformation. Hormonal shifts in midlife change how your body stores fat and how quickly you recover from stress, and that can feel relentless. Many women over 40 describe the same problem. Try diets that work for a moment and then vanish, energy that dips by late afternoon, and clothes that no longer fit the way they used to. These are real obstacles, not failures of willpower. Short, consistent changes can become the engine for long-term transformation when they're tiny enough to stick. One clear pattern shows up again and again in practice. Small, repeatable actions beat grand plans that never start. A composite from several clients illustrates this. A woman juggling a full-time job and caregiving responsibilities began with a single 2-minute strength move each morning. Just 2 bodyweight squats next to the sink after brushing her teeth. Later, she stacked a 10-minute walk after lunch because she found the movement helped digestion and curbed the afternoon cookie craving. She never overhauled her whole diet at once. Over months, those tiny habits multiplied into more energy, fewer cravings, and a steady shift in how her clothes fit. No dramatic promises, just incremental, dependable change. Another real-life pattern comes from women who replace one small nightly cue. Instead of scrolling in bed, they do 2 minutes of gentle stretches and a brief breathing practice, then set a water bottle by the bedside. The shift often improves sleep quality, and better sleep reduces late-night snacking and mood-related eating. A different composite story. A teacher added a protein-rich breakfast spoon to her morning routine, Just a scoop of Greek yogurt or eggs, making her less likely to graze before lunch. She combined that with a habit-stacked 5-minute resistance loop while waiting for the coffee machine. These tiny anchors, placed where life already happens, create momentum without requiring extra willpower. Practical integration is straightforward. Pick one micro-habit that targets your biggest friction point and tie it to something you already do. Keep it visible. Leave resistance bands on the stairs. Keep a pre-portioned protein cup in the front of the fridge, or set a gentle phone reminder after your morning coffee for a 2-minute movement. Make it satisfyingly simple so you can say yes even on hard days. Track one non-scale win each week. How your shirts sit, how stairs feel, or whether you sleep more soundly. Celebrate those wins. They're the true currency of long-term change. You don't need radical sacrifice to create lasting body transformation. Consistency with tiny actions compounds, and the people who succeed focus on process over perfection. Choose one micro-habit right now. Commit to practicing it daily for the next 2 weeks, and notice the small ways your body and confidence begin to shift. Small steps, repeated, lead to real, sustainable results. Still battling that stubborn midlife weight? You're not alone, and tiny, consistent habits are the secret that actually stick. Remember the problem. Menopause shifts your hormones, metabolism, sleep, and stress, and that makes old strategies feel useless. The solution is small, atomic habits you can do every day without overwhelm. Quick summary of the key points. Choose one tiny change at a time. Add a bit of protein and strength work. Move more in 5 to 10-minute bursts. Prioritize sleep and stress breaks. Use cues and habit stacking, and track progress with kindness, not punishment. Think of Linda, who swapped her evening chips for a calming herbal tea and a 10-minute walk and lost inches without feeling deprived. Or Maria, who does 5 push-ups after brushing her teeth and now consistently does short strength sets 3 times a week. Those little wins add up. Put this into your life by picking one habit this week, tying it to something you already do, like after coffee or before bed, and celebrating tiny wins. If you stumble, reset without shame. Consistency over perfection. If this helped, tap like, subscribe, and leave one small habit you'll try in the comments so we can cheer you on. Download the free 2-week habit starter checklist link below, and come back next week when first we'll share hormone-friendly recipes and a beginner strength routine made for women 40+. You've got the tools, you've got the time, and first will be here with you every step. See you in the next video.